guy that just starts, going off or whatever. And then really, the draft does matter, but it's a lot about your waiver pickups.
Yeah, I mean, because like last year, for example, in my league, you got the number 1 pick.
Yes.
You took David Johnson.
Who,
there's nothing wrong with that pick, but then he gets hurt, and he's out for the whole year, and, your team was kind of screwed from jump. Just because your first overall pick, I don't remember if it was a knee or what, but he was out the whole year. And so my team I thought was going to be really good. I had David Johnson. I had Odell Beckham Jr. hurt. I also had Julian Edelman hurt. Yeah.
And so, that does it. But I ended up finishing pretty well. So, I mean, I didn't win the league or anything like that. But the thing is, waiver pickups and all that stuff's huge. So,
yeah.
The thing that's nice about it is NFL's starting up. That we literally have, Thursday starts preseason, and then we're rolling, man. So, I mean,
I'm such a junkie. The other day, I turned on my TV to NFL Network just to watch the Cowboys jog out to their first padded practice.
Oh,
and they had the cameras rolling, Zeke and Dak and those big-time guys, Sean Lee, as they're jogging by in their pads. I mean, I'm not even watching practice. I'm just watching those guys jog to practice.
It's just it's the best sport.
Yeah.
It's the best sport. And then if you disagree with us, send us a tweet. Let us know.
Hey,
we'll talk about it.
We'd love to debate you. You can come on the show and talk about why something else is better.
I know a lot of guys. It's trending up. A lot of guys are into soccer, and I understand because soccer guys got to be in really phenomenal shape, right? Those guys are athletes for sure.
I think if you have a young child, soccer is the best sport to put them in because if you can run and kick a ball at the same time, you're going to be very well coordinated.
Correct.
If you can run and kick a ball at the same time, that helps your coordination, and that will help no matter if you decide to play basketball later, play football. If you are very coordinated, that helps you in any sport. Volleyball, for girls, whatever sport they want to play.
And if you got a kid, play. Mason. I'm putting Mason. Mason's I got a one like almost 2-year-old son. I'm literally gonna put this dude in everything and see and just
baseball.
I'm putting him in everything. Try it. The thing is too. It's sports in general. We like to talk about sports a lot. Sports is a sports show. Sports is the best way to gain confidence, to gain friends. Like literally everything. So honestly, it's the confidence builder. And
sports teaches, at any level, it can teach you to win, it can teach you to lose. And losing is not always a terrible thing because sometimes you learn from failure. In life in general, sometimes you fail. Sometimes you mess up in life. And you've got to take an L and learn to deal with it and move on.
The most successful people in the world are the people that learn from their failures.
Absolutely.
And so get into sports. Lose a game. Don't lose on purpose.
Yeah, no.
You get beat by somebody, and guess what? All of a sudden your brain starts kicking in. You start thinking about how you can beat them. Mm-hmm. You start thinking strategy. It's the best thing. And you can literally apply the principles you learn in sports. You can apply it to anything else in life to become successful.
Yeah. I bet you could go, you could talk to, everybody knows the famous story. Michael Jordan, as a sophomore in high school, got cut from his basketball team. As a freshman or a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Got cut. And then he goes on to be arguably the greatest player of all time in the NBA.
Right. Yep.
He learned from that.
Yep.
Failure is not always a terrible thing in your life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You learn from it.
It teaches you the best lessons. If you win all the time, and just throwing it out there, not a fan of participation trophies.
Nope, not at all. I hate them.
Guess what? I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying tell the kids they suck or anything like that. But they don't need a participation ribbon. They need to learn how to win.
Exactly.
And so,
I remember when I was a kid and I was doing sports, and I would look over, and I had to ask my parent, hey, why did they get a trophy and I don't? Well, they beat you. They won the game or they won the tournament. So only the winners get trophies.
Yeah, and I'm saying, and I'm not saying bash your kid for not winning or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, if you want that trophy, you got to go win. You got to go get first, second, third. I'm good with third place trophies.
I wasn't saying I got bashed for it, but yeah, as I'm looking over there, my parents had to explain to me they won, you lost. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, learn that's a good lesson for kids to learn that I think a lot of kids miss out on now because of the participation trophies. And I'm not saying they're all terrible, because some kids need that validation. But I know if my kids were in sports, even if they got that participation trophy, I would explain to them, like, this is not something you really earned because you didn't win.
Yeah, and that's a tough conversation.
It is. And again, as a parent, you have to have a tough conversation with your kid at times.
Yeah, definitely not saying, like, bash them for whatever.
No.
But the thing is, too,
don't put them down, but tell them.
And if they gave their best effort, totally congratulate them.
Yeah, hey, you tried hard, but your team came up short today. I mean, in the playoffs, unfortunately, every year that I've been at Shawnee Mission East, we've came up just a little bit short.
Yeah, and you learn from it.
And we still keep moving forward. And, those kids then go on, those seniors go on, they move on. They do great things with their lives. I mean, a lot of them are in college right now that have left East. And, those kids gave us great effort. But only one team can win their very last game.
100% agree with you on that. I mean, we're on the same page on that. So
I mean, sorry we kind of went off on a tangent there, but hey, we just kind of go where it rolls. But excited about NFL training camp. Like I said, I mean, I've watched some of the Cowboys stuff. Dak, Zeke look good. Like we think they would. Of course, the defense has looked, I think, pretty good right now. I mean, early in camp, those NFL teams are going to look good because they're filled with athletes. When you start seeing them versus other people is when, I'm interested to see our rookie linebacker out of Boise State, Van Der Esch. I'm interested to see.
Inside linebacker?
Yeah, inside linebacker.
Yeah, because you guys, I think
because Hitchens left.
The Chiefs signed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs signed him to fill in for DJ, and he's a good linebacker.
Yeah, he is. And so I'm interested to see how that rookie does stepping in for him. But, I want to see him versus some competition. I don't want to see him, in camp right now because everything's scripted and you kind of know what's happening. And, you're just getting used to each other, which is all good.
Yeah, and I'll say this about the Cowboys. Your guys' division, the NFC East, is ultra tough.
Yeah.
Ultra tough, right? And we're saving our picks for the NFL for a later show.
Yeah.
But, the NFC East is nasty, right? Philadelphia basically got two quarterbacks. You tell me, Carson Wentz is in the Super Bowl. They still win.
And defending Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia. Yeah,
if Carson Wentz is in, because Nick Foles played out of his mind. Carson Wentz is a better quarterback.
Yeah,
but Nick Foles stepped up, and I'll give props, dude. Doug Peterson and that coaching staff in Philly, freaking phenomenal, man. And they did.
They got hot at the right time, and that's what you have to do to win a championship.
Yep, and that roster is fantastic from top to bottom. So it's tough. And then so the Cowboys was my pick last year to go to the Super Bowl, but I had them losing to the Patriots. But the Cowboys were my pick, and I can't see a reason why they couldn't make playoffs this year. Right?
Yeah,
it's just the fact that the division's hard. The Giants are going to be better because when you introduce a running back like Saquon Barkley, all of a sudden, Eli Manning's got more life because guess what? He can hand the ball off. Teams have to strategize.
And Eli is very cerebral. Like his brother.
And Eli is also very clutch.
Yeah.
The man is super clutch. You get that, dude. If the Giants sneak into the playoffs, you really do not want to play them.
No.
And
then Washington got Alex Smith.
Smith
is a proven winner in the NFL. He wins his division.
Yeah. People, some of the Chiefs fans want to bash him, and we're ready to move on. And I hear that because he is limited. He's not an elite quarterback, but the guy is a total proven winner. He was in Kansas City for five or six seasons and won a playoff game here. I will say this: Arrowhead Pride, shout out to them. They broke down the last playoff game, the second half. Literally, Alex Smith, the RPOs they ran, he read every single one of them wrong. All of them. He read every one of them wrong. So, will Patrick Mahomes be better? I don't know. If you guys get a chance, check out some of the videos that are coming out from Chiefs training camp.
Good segue there. Alex Smith, former Chief. Washington will segue. Talk about the Kansas City Chiefs local team. They've opened training camp up in St. Joe, and they're doing some good things. So what are you hearing there?
So some of the videos you can see out there, basically, there was one the other day. Deep ball to Tyreek Hill. He just goes over our corners and our safety, which is, I don't know if that's a big deal because the Chiefs defense is going to be kind of whatever this year. But I would say this about the Chiefs offense. Worst case scenario, they're top 10. Best case scenario, they're top 5. Because if you look at all the position players they have, we have Tyreek Hill on the outside. We have Sammy Watkins on the outside. Great signing. Sammy Watkins is that receiver that can do a little bit of everything. He can do some short stuff. He can do some long stuff. Tyreek Hill is that guy. He's really deadly on the screens if you set him up correctly. He's also deadly on some fly routes because he's literally the fastest guy in the NFL. At this moment, he's the fastest guy in the NFL. That might change this season or whenever, because that does change. But Mahomes, say what you want about Mahomes. He's gutsy. He'll throw the ball into some double coverage, but he can make the deep throw and with very little effort because this guy is a beast and he is super strong. And the thing about Andy Reid's, I think in Philly he only had one losing season, and that was literally almost everybody getting hurt. And so anybody in mainstream media that wants to write off the Chiefs or whatever, you need to slow your roll, because I think the Chiefs do end up winning at least 9 games. I think their ceiling is like 12. The schedule is pretty brutal to start out, but I think the Chiefs have a lot of promise this year. And worst case scenario, they're a lot of fun to watch. Mahomes gets another year under his belt, and the Chiefs go forward into the next season. Becoming maybe even the division favorite, because and we'll talk about the divisions on another show where we pick all our winners. So I won't reveal that right now, but I do like the Chiefs this year, and I do like them to kind of skate into the playoffs a little bit. Something else we need to touch on. Something we've been talking about for a couple weeks now, maybe even 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that. Moustakas got traded to Milwaukee.
He did. They finally pulled the trigger. The Royals did, and traded Mike Moustakas. We got a couple minor league prospects in return, which you said one of which started for us.
Yeah, so
the other day. But we've been saying for a while, don't get emotionally attached to any of these guys, because if they're not going to be here in 4 or 5 years, then it's time to trade them, because we're 4 or 5 years away from contending. I mean, this team is bad. We're not telling you anything you don't know.
I mean, realistically, is this team maybe the worst team of all time? I don't know. It might be one of the worst Royals teams of all time, because they're not the worst team right now. The worst team right now is Baltimore.
Yeah.
And we actually, I think, I don't know, as of this show, I think we're like up on them by like 5 games. Baltimore is literally really tanking and really crappy, and it's really crazy too, considering 3 or 4 years ago Baltimore was making the playoffs, and so for them to slide like that, do you put that on the GM? I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where
it's kind of the same as the Royals. We're a couple years removed from having a great run. Moose was one of those guys. Him and Locaine are now reunited. 2 guys that helped us bring a World Series back to Kansas City. They had a great run while here, and I was excited about it at the time, even though we're not big baseball guys, either of us. But when the Royals are good, you're more into it because that's your hometown team.
So I always follow the Royals, and I always keep up on them. And I will say this: I think really the big downfall this year, literally the hitting was not bad. Pitching was really bad.
Oh yeah, bullpen.
There's no bullpen. I mean, there's no bullpen, and then starting pitching, we're kind of hanging on to a couple guys, hanging on to a bad Ian Kennedy has been pitching okay, but he has a pretty decent sized contract for what he's doing. I really actually, like, even last year I thought Danny Duffy was going to end up being like an ace, and he's not. And I really couldn't tell you why he's not going to be an ace, because he has all the tools, and like you've seen him in the past be very, very dominant. But I last time I checked his ERA, it's in like the fives, which is not good.